Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Today's Monday, July 3rd. It is 6:13 right now. Market's going to open in about 17 minutes. Got on a bit earlier today so we can mark up all liquidity. And so we can kick off this live session on time. So just got a couple things here to update and we should be good to go shortly. That's good. Solid. All right, let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. And we should be good to go. All right, so look at a few moments for people to make their way in. Hey, Daniel, morning.
Cheers to the healthy heroes.
Sorry, guys. My
gluten-free gladiators.
there we go. I had to mute my YouTube. Hey, Karen, morning. Morning, CJ. Morning, everybody. Morning, guys. Happy Monday. Today's Monday, July 3rd. It is 6:15 right now. Market's going to open in about 14 minutes. So I'll give a few moments for people to make their way in. I got on a bit early today so that we can mark up all liquidity, get everything lined up, and we'll be ready to kick off market open. As you guys know, tomorrow is a holiday. Due to the holiday tomorrow, markets are only open for partial day today. So the market's actually closing early today, which is not a big deal for us because we're going to be off at 8 anyways. I don't recommend you guys trade after. The volatility is pretty low right now, as you guys can see. There's not very many people trading today as expected. I was just going to test out the market, see if I could find anything good here to take. And then if there was something good, I would take something, but the volatility is kind of low. So we'll see if the market continues moving, then great. If not, then, we're not going to force anything because today technically is like early holiday here in the US. So I'm going to start off by marking up, liquidity, and then we will continue from there. Hey, Casey, how's it going? Morning. Morning, Patricia. Morning, Jeff. Morning, everybody. All right, so I'm gonna start off by marking liquidity over here. And I have a couple big announcements for you guys. So I'm not sure if anyone has heard of Top Step. They're another funding company. They're like one of the very first funding companies I ever heard of, like when I first started trading. The only thing is that back then it was futures only and I didn't trade futures. Now all I trade is futures. So the thing with Top Step is that they just released like a huge update. They're basically looking to compete with like literally every prop firm out there. So one of the biggest things, the biggest positive about them is that you can trade directly on YM on TradingView. So for today, I'm going to be trading directly on here on TradingView. You can trade directly on here. The challenges are actually really cheap too. The challenge was like, I think 150 for 150K account. And then, but I don't recommend you guys do it until I get a payout. Let me get a payout first, get funded, all that stuff. And then if I can recommend it, then I'll recommend it. But for right now, I'm just going to test them out. But yeah, anyways, they switched to a one-step process. You just have to make a profit goal. There's no daily loss limit. There's a max loss limit. It's a little bit tighter, but as long as you follow your your trading criteria with risk management, you guys should be perfectly fine. But I just want to give you guys a little heads up that I'm going to be using them during these live sessions. I'm still going to be using my MT4. I'm probably going to be applying different strategies from MT4, like maybe the 1 hour strategy, and then maybe some liquidity. But for the most part on these live sessions, I'm going to be taking those quick scalps, the momentum pullback scalps that we discussed last week here on the live, because I can take the trades directly on my screen here. I'll show you how I take them. They're actually, it's really intuitive. I like how you can trade directly on TradingView. You don't really need a quick trade manager. You just take the trade and you set your TP stop loss right there, and then your lot size, and then you just take the trade. It tells you how much you're going to profit, how much you're going to risk. Super simple. You hit sell. It's like a market order like normally, but you're doing it directly on TradingView. So you guys will see me trade like actual trades live on my TradingView today. And then that goes hand in hand with what I was going to discuss as well, because if I'm going to start doing that, it's going to be hard for me to be focusing on multiple strategies at once. So I think for me personally on the live sessions, I'll be marking up different entries, but my main focus will probably be put on the momentum pullback strategy, because I'm going to be trading that directly on the live session. So we'll work around it, and I still need to get used to everything. But yeah, I just want to give you guys like a little heads up there. I don't know if things are necessarily going to change very much. It's just my focus is going to be mainly on, the scalps versus the 1 hour entries, and versus I'm probably not going to be answering any questions during live anymore. We're just going to be straight trading, because there's just so much going on. And for those momentum pullback scalp entries, they require like all the attention. So for these liquidity pushes here, what I might do with these liquidity pushes is I'm either going to set them up as just the first entry on open, or what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use them as a confluence. I'm not necessarily going to use them as a main strategy, but as a confluence. But we'll see. I mean, as I mentioned, we'll have to play by ear and see where it goes. Obviously, if this is more profitable, I'm going to stick to whatever is most profitable for us here. It's just hard for me to focus on 3 different strategies on 3 different charts at once. I'm going to end up missing trades like I've been missing lately. And I kind of just got to focus on mainly one strategy that's whatever is most profitable. I think that's really going to be the main focus. So let's see. DeAndre's asking, curious, 400, 4,500 max loss. How many contracts? So I'm going to be using between 10 and 15 contracts. Max contract is 15. So I mean, 15 is the highest I'll go. I'll probably use 10 for now until I get comfortable, because I just, I got to figure out how the risk works and stuff, because I've never traded with them before. I've never even traded direct futures. I've typically traded on MT4, so it's a little different, lot size versus contract size. Their max contract size is 10 lots. And the risk for that is about 1,800 something. So you're still within parameters. Like you could still take the max lot size and still be within parameter. I'll show you in a little bit. Daniel said, how'd you get the auto button? So unfortunately, you can't get it back. I messaged them. This is an old chart. I haven't updated this chart, so I'm going to try not to ever hit refresh on this chart right here, because if I refresh it, the auto button is going to it's going to disappear. So yeah, I just got to keep it on there. Yeah, and I wish there was a way to do it. I think they're going to bring it back, because I think a lot of people have complained about it, including myself. So they'll probably bring it back, because I don't understand why they would take it off. It just doesn't make sense why they would take it off. Not everyone likes to, like, I know some people need to have that ability to switch on and off like super quick. So we'll see. As you guys can see, we have a lot of low level liquidity around current price because price hasn't really moved around a lot since open. So market opened yesterday. Liquidity here obviously is very low. So hopefully it picks up. We have news coming up today too, so we'll see how the news how market reacts to the news. But the market volatility is just way too slow right now. It's kind of sucks because it's hard for us to take those scalps if market's not really moving, right? However, it's a given because today is it's technically early holiday, with it being a half day. If you guys are just joining, just a heads up, guys, today is a early holiday here in the US. Tomorrow is Independence Day, so markets are only open partial market today. So I don't recommend trading after the live session. I don't even know if we're going to get much volatility because due to the half session, I don't think a lot of people are going to be trading, at least not a lot of people that actually matter. Retail traders will probably be in the market, but a lot of market makers are not going to be in the market because they don't want to waste a couple hours of trading when they can be out vacationing already. You just got to think logically about it. All right, so we got all the liquidity there marked up. Next level of liquidity is going to be down here, which is about, it's only 300 pips away, but the volatility is so low that it's probably not going to get to that point. It's barely been moving at least not even 100 pips because I've been trying to take, I took the 1 hour entry, and so the upper price over here is 700 pips, lower price is 300 pips, but it's barely even moving. You can see that, I marked this up over here. I took it for a partial move. I pulled out for profit, thankfully up above. And that's how I made the profit over here. I made 520, 820 on my second account, 110. I just pulled out early because it was getting close to market open and the volatility was just super, super low. So with that said, let me go and mark up today's overall bias. Retail sentiment, and I already know what retail sentiment is because I looked at it. That's the reason why I took the 1 hour entry today. It's bullish. I think it's 69% short. Yeah. Fundamentals. They're down 70 points, so they're neutral, negative 70 points. Short-term technicals. So this is where it gets messy. The short-term technicals and long-term are pretty much super mixed. And you'll see it right now. All right, so short-term over here is currently bearish. Price is pretty much below the pivots. Trend meter's red, pivots are angling down. So short-term is bearish. However, long-term here is pretty much neutral. It's in between the pivots, shifting here on the 30. It's right in between the pivots on the 1 hour, and the 4 hour over here is pretty much right down the middle. So I'm just going to put neutral here for long-term technicals. So as you guys can see, it's really hard to tell because retail sentiment is very bullish. I think eventually price will push up. It might not happen today, but it'll happen later this week. Fundamentals are currently bearish and neutral. They're right below. Not bearish, but they are bearish neutral. And short-term technicals are also bearish just for short-term, while long-term is neutral. So it's really hard to tell where price is going to go. It's kind of going all over the place right now. And there just really isn't much for us to gauge here because the volatility is extremely low. We also have news coming up shortly too. So we'll see what happens. I mean, hopefully the market moves a little bit. If not, we're not going to force any trades today. So right here on Monday, we have news at 6:45, final manufacturing PMI. I'm going to mark that up right here. We've got ISM manufacturing PMI, high impact, ISM manufacturing prices, and construction spending at 7. And that's pretty much it for the day. There's news right here at 6:45 and news right here at 7. Other than that, I think that's it. Yeah, 6:45 and then 7 o'clock today. That's pretty much it. No other news. There's news at 8:30, but it's not really going to be useful to us. Hey, Dan, how's it going? Morning. Morning, Kaner. Morning, FX Shark. Morning, Pablo. Morning, Barty. Patricia said, anyone have a link for a Top Step? I'll send you the link later, Patricia, if you still need it. Yeah, for the most part, it's just topstep.com or Top Step Official. I don't remember what the website is. Justin said, hey, Sean, I keep forgetting to ask you, recommend any US broker? I use Traders Way. One of my commissions, $30 on a 0.1 lot. It's crazy. So if you want to trade US30, the broker that I would recommend would be Tradeovate. I only recommend them because I'm using them right now. So the live trade that I'm taking right here for US30 or YM on TradingView is going to be using Tradeovate broker, which is like one of the legit brokers here in the US. So if you want to just trade futures, then I would do Tradeovate. If you want to trade Forex, then I would use Forex.com. I don't really trade Forex anymore. So, I mean, if you want to use Forex.com, they're fine, but they are US regulated. So the fees aren't going to be like super crazy, but the spread's going to be a little wider, and the leverage is kind of it's going to suck. Like I think I have 10,000 in that account. I can only take so much risk on that account. And it depends on the specific asset that you're trading too. Like if you're trading like a European asset or something like that, the leverage sucks. It's like horrible. I have to trade something like odd USD or even GU sometimes. I can't trade something like GJ because I mean, I could trade it, but I wouldn't be able to take the lot sizes that I would like. So, all right, guys, market Tradeovate with the V. Justin, it's one of the main brokers here for futures, Tradeovate. So you can see it down here, it says Tradeovate. Just yeah, check them out. TradeStation is cool too, but I'm using Tradeovate now. So if you want to use the same thing, like you can see the spread here is super tight. Like it's like 1 point spread. It's been like this since Asia session. So I think they're pretty solid with regard to spread. I mean, especially if you're scalping, the fees are kind of high, but they're not super high. I mean, they're reasonable for a futures broker. Yeah, no problem, Justin. All right, guys, market is now open. Price is kind of pushing through right here. It's kind of pushing down to that lower level of liquidity. As you guys can see, it's very choppy how it's moving right now. So you want to be careful if you guys do decide to take this lower level of liquidity here, because the market volatility is kind of mixed. It's bouncing around a bit, but it's not very consistent and it's not very smooth. I mean, if you were to take this here, I'd probably only take it for 100 pips because as you can see, this is a big move. 300 pips is a big move, and the volatility isn't very consistent. It'll like push a little bit and it'll just die down. So I would probably only go for 100 pips if you guys are looking to take this lower level of liquidity. Also, if you guys are looking to take this trade here, price is a bit overextended. So I want to see a bit of some retracement here and consolidation, and then catch it as it comes back down and breaks through. Or even if it pushes up a little bit, then comes back down, consolidates, and pushes back down further, and then breaks through. You just want to see a bit of a messy move there because obviously you don't want to get caught. So, all right, market is now open. We'll see where this goes. I mean, first possible opportunity here would be this liquidity push. If you were going to take it, guys, again, like I mentioned, I'd probably wait for some consolidation here because it looks like price may fake out. As you can see, price is very overextended at the moment. So if anything, for me personally, I'd probably wait for a fake out and then I'd probably hop in on the next opportunity to get in if it does come back down. As you can see how price is moving right now, it's not really a clean move. And there we go with that retracement. The retracement didn't really play out. It kind of just came up a little bit. So if it touches it initially right here, I personally would not take it. If you guys want to take it, that's up to you guys. But if you guys do take it, I'd probably recommend only going for 100 pips. From my understanding here, price is overextended. You know, price pushed down a bit. I don't even want to bother measuring it because it didn't really move too much, but it is overextended, even whether it's moved a lot or whether it's moved a little bit. And you can see right here, it's starting to fake out. This is exactly what I wanted to see happen. Perfect. So see how here a price pushed down. It didn't touch liquidity yet, but it faked out. And now it's kind of going back and forth. It's doing this consolidation thing that I just marked up right here, which is exactly what I wanted to happen before it comes down to this area. So this is pretty solid. This is actually what I wanted to happen here. I want price to fake out a bit. I want it to come back down. And then when it comes back down, consolidate down there. And then when it breaks through, then it's going to be a smooth entry. But you can see, I'm glad the fake out happened before it touched liquidity, because this is what I was expecting to happen if it came down and touched it. If it came down and touched it, I was expecting a fake out, swing back up. Thankfully, it happened right before it touched. And here you can see prices coming right back down. It's the same pattern that's been playing out pretty much for the past couple of weeks. A lot of fake outs. That's why I typically don't enter on the first touch, because generally liquidity will be sitting somewhere down here. The only problem is that I don't see liquidity down here. I think this liquidity down here is not necessarily worth taking. And the reason for that is because retail sentiment is currently 68% short, right? So if you're looking for liquidity, it's going to be on the top side. If everybody's selling, there's not going to be stop losses down here. Stop losses are going to be up here, right? This is liquidity that I'd be looking to take. This right here, because if everybody's selling, their stop losses have to be up here, not down here, right? So you just use basic logic to kind of understand this. I know I say basic logic, for some people it kind of goes over your head, but if everybody's selling, their stop losses are going to be up top, right? They're not going to be on bottom because not everybody's buying. Like you're going to have some people stop losses down here, but it's not enough to create liquidity. The liquidity is really sitting up top. So I'm actually looking for price to go upwards. That's where I personally would want to see it go. So we'll see. But there's no rush here, guys. Like, just be patient with it. Today is Monday. Again, like I mentioned, today's it's an early holiday. So the market's going to be open for partial market today. It closes at about 1 p.m. Eastern. So that's like 11, 12, 1. 11 a.m. Pacific. So yeah, half day for the market. But okay, so guys, if you guys are just joining the room, what I was telling everybody earlier is that I started trying out this new, it's not a new prop firm, it's a prop firm that I've known about since I first started trading. The only reason why I didn't use them when I first started trading was because they only traded futures. Now that I only trade futures, it makes sense for me to use them. Plus, you can trade directly on TradingView. So you can see down here, it says TradeOvate. I'm using a TradeOvate account with them. I'm gonna trade directly here on my TradingView screen. I'm going to be applying the momentum pullback scalp strategy. So that's probably going to be my main strategy here on the live session, because you guys can see me actually take the trades here on live. And then I'll be using these liquidity pushes either as a confluence, or I'll be applying these entries on my MT4. So I'm still going to use my MT4. I just have to apply on two different platforms. But yeah, that's why I have to use different strategies, because for here, I'll be using this strategy. And then for MT4, I'll be using liquidity or the 1 hour entries. So they're different. They're like completely different platforms. Daniel's asking if it will copy to Social Trader. It won't. That's why I have to use two different platforms, unfortunately. But the thing with TradeOvate is that they have their own copier, like their own built-in copier. You don't have to use a third party. Like you can have like 5 accounts on TradeOvate and they all copy the same main account. So there's no loops and holes. You're literally trading directly on that specific broker. So I think with Top Step, I can do a max of 450 in allocation. And then Apex is another funding company that also uses TradeOvate. And you can add multiple accounts on there too. So it's the same thing as like FTMO and MFF, except they're more reliable because they're here in the US and you can trade directly on TradingView. It's a win-win, right? So I'm going to be using both, but they're two different platforms. So what I might have to do is I might have to go buy a separate tool. I might have to buy a separate tool to execute trades on my MT4, like an actual physical tool, like a magic keys or something. So I can just hit them both at the same time. Yeah, DeAndre's the trillion drawdown sucks though with Apex. Gotcha. Yeah, I haven't even looked at Apex, so I'm not even bothered to look at them yet. I think Top Step is cool for now because all they have is a one step. It's max daily drawdown, no daily drawdown. So I'm going to use them for now. And then if they're good, then I'm going to maybe stack on some accounts from Apex, but not yet. I'm going to wait because Apex is probably going to have to compete with Top Step anyways. So I'm just going to wait for them to compete with them and then provide, they're just going to have to compete with each other. And it's going to be better for us as users of the platform because they're going to have to give us better terms. So yeah, maybe in the future I'll use Apex, but for right now, I'm just going to be using Top Step for my main account here. And then I'll be trading MT4 for my I guess liquidity pushes, and then also for the 1 hour entries over here as well. Edwin's asking TradeOvate copies to which brokers? It doesn't copy to any broker, it copies to itself. So only TradeOvate. You can do TradeOvate with Top Step. You could also do Tradeovate with Apex. So they're all within the same broker. Tradeovate is a broker of its own. I mean, it's not like it's like it's just standalone. It's like I don't know. I was trying to think of a broker name that everybody uses. I don't even know what broker people use anymore. But if you were to use a broker, Tradeovate's like its own broker. Nice. Anderson said Apex says you can have 20 funded accounts, Top Step max of 3. Yeah. Yeah, because I saw what's his name? I saw Arik, he had like 6 accounts, they're all 50K. So that's, I mean, it's pretty solid. Visual said Top Step has a 99 monthly fee per data feed per account. I saw that. And that's the thing that sucks. So that's the one thing that sucks about the data fee so you have to pay the data fee. So if you trade with Top Step, they consider you a professional trader. So, you know, for YM here, where we pay $4 a month, because like we consider ourselves not professional. When you trade with Top Step, they consider you professional. So they charge you a data fee. You got to pay like $100 a month to the exchange because you're considered a professional trader at that point. So, and they also give you an activation fee. But here's the thing, like those activation fees and those fees shouldn't really matter if you're profitable because it's just a pass-through pay. It's a pass-through fee, right? It's the fee to trade. So yeah, those are the downsides. Visual mentioned you have to pay an activation fee for your Express account. Once you get funded, you have to pay a fee to activate your account. And then you have to pay this monthly data fee for YM. It's through CME Group. We pay, if you're not a professional trader, like if you're just trading on TradingView and you're considered not professional, you only pay like $4 or $6 a month. But once you're considered a professional trader, you have to pay about $100 a month to use their data. Because obviously, if you're a professional trader, you're making money trading, right? So, but that's only once you get funded. So, yeah, a couple downsides to it, but I mean, it shouldn't really affect us too much. You know, if you're profitable, you're making hundreds of dollars a day. Shouldn't really be a big deal personally. I'm not sure if it's per account Visual, but I mean, we'll see. I don't have no idea like what the actual terms are. That's why I'm not recommending anybody use Top Step yet. Just wait for me to get funded, get my payouts, and then once I figure out if there's any problems with it, I'll let you guys know. But right now, there's just I don't know anything about it yet because this is my first time using them. So yeah, we'll see. I see. Yeah, Visual Trader said also Top Step once you allow 100% of your withdrawal of your profits, only half, so you always have to leave 50% in your account. So another downside there. Thanks, Visual. I didn't know all that stuff. So yeah, I mean, there's downsides to using Top Step. I think the main thing is just really trading directly on TradingView. I think that's the main thing. Like that was the main selling point for me because I don't even like MC4, but I have to use them because I have to use them. Like FTMO doesn't support TradingView, so unfortunately, I have to use them for now. But yeah, of course there's going to be some downsides to it. The thing is with Top Step being a US company, they have all these regulations. So yeah, they have to pay for these fees. FTMO is like located in I think Czech Republic, right? Somewhere around there, somewhere in Eastern Europe, where they don't have to like adhere to a lot of these regulations. So yeah, I mean, we'll see. But yeah, again, guys, I just want to give you guys a heads up what I'm doing and how I'm trading here directly on TradingView if and when I start taking these options, these trades. I'm not going to take any of these momentum scalp pullbacks or momentum pullback scalps until like 7 o'clock. So I'm waiting for the market to stabilize a bit. 642 right now. I'm still looking for entries. Liquidity did not get hit yet. The 1 hour entry is still far from it. So there's no entries for us right now. News is going to happen right here at about 6:45. We'll see what happens there. Let me go and mark up opening price over here real quick. Let's see. Anderson said ETF, Elite Trader Funding is another futures prop firm that TraderVate uses. Perfect. Thanks, Anderson. I'm going to keep the note of that too. And I mean, maybe at some point in the future, when I'm looking to stack on accounts, I'll, of course, I'll take a look. But right now, I'm just going to stick to top 7 until I get a payout with them. I know they're going to pay out. It's just, I don't know how they're, I don't know, like all of the little rules that they have, because supposedly there's no more rules with them. It's just, you just have to reach the max allocation, or not max. You have to reach a profit target, which is 9,000. And then, their max drawdown is like 4,500. So the drawdown is a lot tighter, but there's no daily drawdown. That's a big plus. So I mean, we'll see. Let's see, Anderson, he's funded. Anderson said he's funded with Apex. It's a one-time fee around 150, nothing per month after that. Yeah, it's the same with Top Step too. They used to have like, you used to have to pay a monthly fee, but once you get funded, they cut off the monthly fee. So I mean, realistically, all you're really paying for is going to be the data fees, and that's pretty much it. But I mean, data fees, that's expected especially if you're using a US broker. What's up, Kyle? Finally made it on here. Man, where's Josh at? Wake Josh up. Dude's over there pouring the waters. Yeah, sleeping or probably at Walmart, pouring some waters. Yeah, nice, probably sleeping. Yeah, all right. So there's nothing to take right here, guys. I'm still waiting. We got news right here at 6:45. Here is the news price. I'm gonna mark that up. So we don't really got much going on here. Are you trading today, Kyle? Market's kind of whack. I mean, it's pre-holiday, so I assumed it to be kind of whack, but I was expecting a little more volatility here. It's kind of moving a little slow, so I'm waiting for something here to happen or some direction. So guys, I'll mark up the opening price over here real quick. 630 and 8. You'll see that the market's not really moving too much. I mean, it's moving, but it's not necessarily moving at the speed that we needed to take any trades. All right. Just gonna mark up the zones over here, guys, so that you guys have an idea of what we're looking at. I'll adjust the zones as price moves around, but this is pretty much the clean chart. Not really much going on here. Price did push up a little bit, but not really enough. Price never came down to hit liquidity down below, so this is still active. Liquidity up here. If you guys are looking to take the top liquidity, we're looking for the same thing. We want price to push up, consolidate a little bit, push up, consolidate a little bit, push up, maybe fake out, consolidate a bit, come back up, consolidate, and then break through. Like, we're looking for a messy push here. I don't want a straight push to the upside, because if we get a straight push to the upside, then it's probably going to fake out. If this doesn't happen, where this messy move happens, then it's probably going to go up, pull back, get to this point, fake out, consolidate, go back up, consolidate, and then break through. That's probably what's going to happen. So just be careful if you guys are looking to take the liquidity above. Obviously you want to see a bit of a messy move. A lot of people don't want to see a messy move, but we do want to see messy move, because that messiness is going to, it's pretty much going to shake out a lot of the traders who are kind of worried to take the buys here. We want people to be shaken out before we hop in. We want to wait for that actual real move before we, we take that leap. So not too much going on. We got news price right there. There's just no direction. Yeah, Kyle said, yeah, trading, but only safe moves, going away until it chooses direction. Yeah, same here, Kyle. There's not really much to, I mean, price isn't really doing too much, just going back and forth. Hey, Purity, how's it going? Good morning. All right, so I'm still looking to take these scalps, guys, but not right now specifically. I'm waiting until like around 7 o'clock when the market starts to stabilize a bit. I'll just keep adjusting these zones right here so that we have an idea of where like price is moving to. I mean, technically the entry should have been right here if we were going to take it. You guys see the whole number right there. But, you know, as we've discussed before, we're waiting until entries after 7. So not necessarily right here, but after 7 o'clock to apply the momentum scalp or momentum pullback scalp. I mean, the entry technically would have been right there if we were to take it. But again, like I mentioned, guys, we're not taking it right now specifically. We're waiting until 7. From our back test, I mean, technically you can apply from 7 until 12 the entire day. But since we have a half day today, 7 till 8 will do. The reason why we don't take it before 7 is because the market here is moving all wacky. This is typically how it moves until it starts to smooth out and choose a direction around 7 o'clock. Right now, there's no direction. So whenever you're taking these entries, you want to make sure that there's actual direction there. The entry actually would have happened like way up here, now that I think of it, but it's just way too early right now. It's not 7 o'clock yet. So I'm just gonna wait for it and we will see where. Jeff said he got in too early. It's all good, Jeff. I mean, it happens. But yeah, just keep that in mind, guys. For the momentum pullback scalp, we're waiting till 7 o'clock because right now there's no direction. You can see prices pushing back up and it looks like it's going to be pushing up further. But you are right, Jeff, if this was an actual entry, well, actually, you should still be in the position right here. It's still, so technically the entry would have happened up here because this is the whole number, 80, and it's still pushing back up into profit. Your stop loss would have been at 25, so you'd still be in the trade right now. I mean, I wouldn't want to be in the trade, but if you're still in the trade, it looks like, or actually it looks like you would have hit right here, Jeff. So let me just go back and we're just going to review the trade here. So the momentum pullback scalp entry, you're basically looking for price to choose a direction. Right here, it kind of shows a direction. The trend meter is green, price was above the pivots. We had a green buy signal right here. And you can see how this price pulled back, right? The next whole number is right here going to be 80. So if you go back to this next candle right here, or actually, let me see if it even goes through. Yeah, it actually would have hit, Jeff. So this right here, it looks like it would have hit your TP if you got in at the 80. If you got in at the 70, it looks like it still would hit your TP either way. Let me just go back over here real quick. So it's still technically running right now. I mean, if you got in at the 70, but if you got in at the 80, it looks like it would have spiked to your TP and then you would have been pulled out of the position. So Purity said she took a high-low scalp before 5 minutes before news and it hit. Let me see what you took here, Purity. 5. So I don't see any. Which because I don't see any high-low scalps over here, Purity. I'm not sure which one you took. I'm looking back. I mean, if you have a specific timestamp, I could look at it, but I'm looking back here. 6:36. This one right here, there's no high-low scalp here. So which strategy are you talking about, Purity? Because there's a lot of different high-low strategies. There's no high-low scalp here because the candle would have to break and close past the high-low. These candles already touched it, so invalidated it. If you're talking about the high-low momentum scalp, this here still wouldn't be an entry because the lower lows right here and the momentum price already broke and closed with these previous candles. But even if you did take this as a high-low momentum scalp, it still would have hit your TP because it went straight up. So even if you mistakenly taken this trade right here at 6:36, I mean, you still would have hit your TP. I don't see how it would stop you out because it's I mean, even if you took the one up here, so there's another one right here, it still would have hit your TP. So there's no way to lose on any of the trades even if you took them incorrectly. So I'm not sure what you took, Purity, because even if you took this trade, like if you took it wrong, you still would hit your TP because it went straight to profit right there. And then if you took this one right here, there's a higher high with the candle breaking, closing past pivots 1 and 2. You still would have won every single trade here. Even if you took them incorrectly, they would have won. Unless you're just applying something different. because even a high-low scalp here, even if you did this incorrectly, because there's a low right there, if you didn't see that these invalidated it and you took this candle, I mean, you still would have hit your TP. There's like, it's impossible to lose any of these trades, even if you made a mistake. So I'm not sure which one you applied, Purity. If you have any like details, I can look at it, but I'm just stating the facts here. Like you could have taken any entry here, even if you took the one down here, it's like impossible for you to lose any of these trades. Like if you took this candle right here and you thought, oh, this is the entry, it's still impossible because it went straight to CP. So impossible to lose here, impossible to lose here at any entry point. At 636, you said, right? So 636 is right here. And it doesn't matter what you did. If you entered it wrong, or if you just entered at 636, you still would have, because there's no reason you take a sell here. Like I don't see why you would take a sell here at all. There's a buy signal there. So the only direction you'd be trading would be for a buy. But yeah, if you want to send a screenshot, you can, but I just don't see any losses that could have happened at that point. So yeah, if you want to just show it to me, I'll probably look at it. I'll see what you did. But I just don't see any losses that could have happened right there. Anyways, back to the charts, guys. Sorry, I know I said I wasn't going to answer any questions on here, but Purity, so I think that's gonna be the last question for today, maybe from you. You can send me the screenshot. I'll answer it after the live session. So I'm focusing just on trading here, guys. I'm not here to answer any questions. Save those questions for the mentoring session for breaking down. But I just wanted to see if there's anything here that we could have looked at, Purity. But I don't see any possible losses there. All right. Anyways, it's going to be close to 7, guys. As it gets closer to 7 o'clock, we'll have possible opportunity for maybe a 1 hour entry. I mean, we'll mark it up and we'll see. I think price will push up though. So I think, yeah, if the 1 hour entry does close for a buy, I think price will push up higher. It's going to try and reach that level of liquidity up there. So we'll see, where that ends up going. Let's see. Madhu said V1 is currently running right here. You mark it up. I don't know if the candle was too big. Actually, it's fine. It looks big, but it's not really that big yet. So that'd be a V1 there. But I think the problem with that, Madhu, is that the overall bias right now is kind of mixed. So let me check the short-term technicals again. It's pretty much neutral now, so we can just change this to neutral. Let me check the fundamentals real quick. Fundamentals are currently, they're still bearish neutral. So for me personally, I wouldn't have taken that V1 variation. I mean, it's probably going to hit, but yeah, and it did hit right there. So if you guys took the V1 that Madhu over there identified, it did hit full TP. Not exactly one that I would personally take because of the bias here, but it did line up with the momentum pullback scalp. So we're getting close to 7 o'clock. I think I'll start looking for some momentum pullback scalps now, because we are getting close to that point. There was one entry right here that Casey identified. Price right here pulled back. And when price came down to this point right here, that's where the entry would have been taken. So go over here real quick. All right, so you guys will see me take these trades here on the session. You'll probably hear my trade update make a confirmation too when entries come up. All right, so price is finally identifying a direction. Which is bullish, which is exactly where I wanted to go, because as I mentioned, all the liquidity is sitting up here. So I do want price to be bullish. The 1 hour entry over here too. We do have news in 3 minutes. Thanks, Daniel. So I'm going to make sure that I do not make a mistake here and trade during news like we did last week. That was my bad. The only loss that we had in a whole month was because I traded right before news. A stupid move on my end. The trade we took on Friday. I shouldn't have taken that trade, but I mean, it is what it is. I just got to own up to it. So yeah, we have news coming up right here in about 3 minutes. Thanks, Daniel. Huge thanks to you for reminding me, because you know me, I get FOMO. I'll enter that trade without even thinking twice. So it looks like we're cool right here. Let's see what else we got over here. All right, so we got news coming up right here in 2 minutes, guys. Probably gonna hold off. I'm not gonna take anything. It's got the news candle right here. I mean, technically, there's another possible entry right here, but I'm not going to take it, of course. So I'm just going to mark it up so that you guys can see, and we'll just follow through. I'm not going to take the trade though, because there's news right here on this candle at 6-7 o'clock. It's high impact news too. It's ISM manufacturing prices and ISM manufacturing something else. Yeah, ISM manufacturing PMI and prices. So basically inflation news. We got this right here. Coming up. And again, this is exactly why I wouldn't have taken that trade there at news, because a lot of uncertainty happens around news price, especially when it's high impact. So we'll see where this ends up pushing through. And it went straight to TP. So you guys see the candle right there? It went straight to TP. It's all good. I just marked it up. But yeah, so when something like this happens, it's either going to be really good or really bad. It's either going to spike to your stop loss or it's going to spike to your TP. In this case, it spiked straight to TP. But it's okay. I don't want to be risking it, because the only loss that I lost last week was because of this stupid mistake. I traded like right before news. Price spiked to my stop loss, and then it went straight to CP. So just wanted to show you guys there, give you guys a little breakdown of that there. Let me see. The 1 hour entry here is still technically running. I mean, I'm not going to take it, of course, because of the news that just passed. But yeah, the 1 hour entry right there would have hit CP as well. It's all good. Yeah, I'm not really going to FOMO into that. I mean, it already hit TP, so I can't even FOMO into it anyways. It's too late. All right, so price is kind of just consolidating right here. This is exactly what I was mentioning earlier, guys. So I mentioned I don't want price to go straight up to liquidity. I wanted price to consolidate a bit, right? And that's exactly what's happening here. This is the setup that we're looking for. Price makes a slow climb, consolidates a bit, pushes up, consolidates a little bit, pushes up again, consolidates, comes down a bit, or that's a lot actually. Comes down a little bit, and then shoots right up to the liquidity. So we'll see where this ends up going. Yeah, thanks, Gian. Yeah, the 1 hour did hit. All right, so now that we have some sort of direction here, we need to wait for a retracement, basically an opposite signal, and then wait for a direction to be pushing in one direction or the other. So we don't have direction here, but we need a sell signal to come up, price to push back up, and then we'll look for entry here regarding the, okay, perfect. This is exactly what I wanted. We had the sell signal right there, price is now pushing back up. And we're now looking for a buy signal. So see where this goes. All right, we got Patricia over here, total profit of 6,270 for the day. Nice work, Patricia, all wins. So solid work right there on Patricia's end. I think those are all the profits for right now, because we haven't had any official trades yet. If you guys have any profits post up, feel free to post them up. Otherwise, there's no trade that we've taken yet. So I wouldn't expect anybody to have profits aside from my pre-market trade right here. I'm just up a little bit today, 500 on this account, 800 on this one, 100 on my MFF1, 100 on my MFF2, and 100 on my MFF3. We got Gian over here. He took the 1 hour trade, total profit of 1,630 for the day. Nice work, Gian. Took that right at 7 o'clock. Yeah, that was a bit of a risky trade, in my opinion, but Gian trusted it. I knew price was going to go up because that's the direction I was looking for. But since it was high impact, I wasn't going to take that risk, especially on a Monday, where it's a holiday or pre-holiday, I guess. So we'll keep following along. All right, I need a buy signal here to come up. Once we get that buy signal, once price pulls down a bit, we can possibly look for for entry. But as you guys can see, there's not really much of a movement here. Price is kind of just going back and forth. It's pretty whack right now. So there's a clean chart. As you guys can see, price isn't really doing too much. Some people might consider this a resistance. I'm actually looking at this as a liquidity area. So I'm actually waiting for price to kind of bounce off it, come back up, and then blast right through. That's what I'm looking for there. Let's see, Tom. So Tom said he made that trailing stop loss and ended up closing manually quick. So he took a trade over there. The price came down a little bit. Total profit of 1,700 for the day. Nice work, Tom. All wins here. He was using a trailing stop and he just pulled out when he had the opportunity. So great work right there, Tom. We got Natasha over here. Total profit of 3,265 for the day. She had one loss there. Looks like that might have been an accident. Everything else was a win though. So great work, Natasha. Solid phone trading right there. I still don't know how Natasha does it, but she makes it happen. All right, so we got the buy signal right here, guys. Prices hasn't closed yet. We're waiting for it to close. So I'm basically looking for a price to push up, retrace, and continue. So I'm looking for a buy signal, price push up, retrace, continue. That's what I'm looking for, right? Quick entry right there. Retrace down to this level, continue. That's it. I mean, it's pretty simple. A simple concept. It's just we use the momentum indicator that I have here. I use momentum, plus I use the trend, plus I use the pivots to identify direction. Once I identify direction, I look for that pullback, and then I go for the entry. Pull back to the whole numbers and hop right in. But we do need that buy signal. So I'm just looking for that buy signal there to close. Once it closes, great. If not, then that's what we're waiting for. That's pretty much our catalyst to confirm the direction. We already have the trend direction here, but we need a catalyst for actual direction or price. Trend doesn't really mean too much unless it's combined with something else, right? You can trend trade, but you're not really going to understand where to make entries unless you have some sort of catalyst. Our catalyst is a buy signal. So catalyst, buy signal to confirm direction, and then retracement to basically a whole number is going to be our entry point. But we just don't have that yet. All right, back to the liquidity chart. Still nothing going on here, but if price does push up, liquidity will be sitting above here. So I'll have that marked up for you guys. I mean, market's not really doing too much. Volatility's died down a bit. I actually want price to keep screwing around this area, because if people start to look at this as a resistance, that's going to be good for us. Because if everyone tries to sell from this point, sentiment's just going to keep going up. So if that happens, then we're pretty much set for a nice push to the upside once liquidity gets blasted through there. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. I actually want this to be established as a resistance. It's been tested about, let's see, 1, 2, 3 to 4 times already, right? So it's establishing it as a pretty nice resistance. So when price does push back up, I'm going to be ready to wipe all these sellers out as price pushes through, hits liquidity right here, and we go straight to our TP. Reason why I'm able to identify that is because if everyone's catching the bounces right here, where's your stop loss sitting? Right above the resistance, right? So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for these people to get stopped out, and I'm trying to make money off people's losses. We're basically just, we're using basic logic here to identify where people are trading, and then we're going to look for entries at this point. So, all right, we have the buy signal here. We have price pushing up. I'm looking for that retracement if we can possibly get it. So price is pushing up right here. I'll be looking for price to pull back to that level right there. Price does pull to that level. I'll be looking to make entry at that point. So I'm just going to watch it. If price pulls back, we do need the retracement though. So I actually need price to close, like pull back, and then provide a confirmation of retracement. All right, price just keeps pushing higher, then so be it. So as you guys can see, I have my order already set up right here. I'm going for 100 pips. My stop loss is at 25 points, or 10. It's 100 pips, 10 points. My stop loss is at 25 points, 250 pips. The only times I'll exit is if it hits stop loss or if I get a sell signal. If I get a sell signal, then that's just, I'm gonna cut losses early. And then that's that. And I'll just move on to the next one. But I'm looking for entry right here. Price can swing through. Price is pushing up to liquidity right there. Be looking for a red candle here. The red candle is going to be the confirmation of retracement. And then from there, I'll be looking to take my entry. The candles are kind of weakening right here. All right, so we're still waiting for that retracement. There we go. So price is retracing right here. If it closes with a red candle, that's going to confirm my retracement. If price pulls down to this full number, 90, that's where I'm going to be making my buy. So I just need a red candle here to close up. 20 seconds left. It's fine if it pushes up higher. We'll just have to wait for the other retracement. All right, price is pushing up even further. Got 7 seconds on this candle. 3, 2, 1. All right, so no retracement on there. Next opportunity is going to be right here. So we got the retracement happening. See how far this retraces down to. If it retraces to the whole number, then you can technically enter right there. So like say, for example, it closes right at the 600 mark, right? If that's the case, then you can enter right there. If not, then you got to wait for it to pull back to the next level. So it can have like a one point differential. It can be at like 600, 601 or 59. Anything above or below that, then you just got to wait for it to pull back to that area. So this is where it becomes a little tricky because you have to actually like pay attention to this here and identify where price actually closes. That's 600. Just going to take it right there. So we'll see where this goes. If I get a sell signal, I just close out for a quick loss. Price pushes up. Take it. See, the problem with this here is that it freaking, the spread kind of screwed me on that one. So I got to pull out right here. I make a small adjustment. Because I got in and it was moving a little too fast. Gotta watch it because if it hits my TP like that, boom, I'm out full TP. I had to pull out, guys. Some bullshit right here. The spread's gonna screw me over. I'm not gonna freaking hold on to it for like one more point. So I got it right there. I mean, it probably would hit my TP, but I was gonna play around with it. But again, right there, guys, there goes the strategy, full TP. If you guys took it, awesome. If you guys didn't, it's all good. But yeah, there goes the strategy right there. How much profit did I make on that trade? Oh, it's easy. Rick was like, boom, man, like a freaking Rick hit his TP right there. Okay, so yeah, if you guys took profit on that, great. If you guys didn't, it's okay. You guys can see how intuitive it is, right? It's so easy to trade directly on TradingView. That's why I like using Top Step. Well, like for now, I got to see how this ends up playing through as we continue. What the hell? I'm trying to log into my thing. Yeah, I'll see how it continues to trade along that way, but oh, no wonder it wasn't logged in. I was like listening for that sound because what happens is when I'm logged into Top Step, it'll like usually tell me something like it'll say like order filled or profit target hit or whatever. And it was actually logged out. Okay, so I'm in profit right now. My stats are kind of whack because I was testing out stuff yesterday. So here's my trade about. I think you guys can see it. Fuck. Wait, sorry. I want to hide my login information. Never mind. Okay, I need to figure out a way to hide my login information, and then I'll show you guys my trade bait or whatever this is, Top Step. But yeah, that's the entry right there. We're going to be looking for another entry for price to pull back. So I'm looking for a sell signal and then another buy signal, and then I'm gonna look for price to provide another opportunity for entry. If you guys locked in profit on that, great. I locked in partial profit, or not partial. I locked in 375 because I had to close out early. I was supposed to lock in 750, but the slippage got to me, and then also had to pay all these fees. That's another thing that I need to look out for is the fees for top steps. The fees are kind of expensive. Like right now, I took about 3 trades in the past couple of days, like since yesterday, and I paid about a little over $100 in fees. So my total PL right now is only 44. That's okay. My gross PL is 145. So again, guys, like I mentioned, I'm gonna have to keep testing this out. I don't recommend anybody hop onto it just yet. Obviously, I kind of missed out because if I took that trade on my MC4, I actually would have made a lot more profit, like 6,000. But I'm okay with taking a pay cut right now just to see if this works, if it works well. Because if it works well, I can add on I think someone said you could add like 20 accounts on like Apex, and then I could add like 3 or 4 accounts here on Top Step, and that'll be like over $1 million in allocation. So yeah, you guys can see right here, this is where my entry came in, and then there's where my exit came out right there. The blue arrow is entry, red arrow is exit. All right, so we're just looking for another buy signal here. Price hasn't gotten to liquidity yet. The 1 hour entry here is still far away, so there's no opportunity yet, but we'll see where this goes. Gotcha. Cool, Patricia. So for those 20 accounts, Patricia, is there a max allocation, or do you know what the max account size is? Because I saw Arik, he had like a 50K account. I'm not sure if there's a bigger account, because I wouldn't mind getting like 200K accounts, right? That'll be like 2 million in allocation, which is crazy. Okay. So DeAndre said 300K, Patricia said 100K max. I'll look into it, guys. I just figured one of you guys would know. But I mean, I guess it's not too bad because I heard you can get 450 on Top Step, and then if it's 300, like DeAndre said, it's like 750. I mean, it's still less than, it's about the same that I'm doing right now for FTMO and MFF. Actually, no. Yeah, it is. So it's about the same allocation, but the lot sizes are a little different for MFF because you can only max lot size 100, which is weird. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, Patricia said she did 100K accounts because of monthly fees. Gotcha. Yeah, I would do that too. I would just do the 100K accounts. It doesn't make sense to do the smaller ones. Gotcha. Okay, DeAndre said 7,500 trailing drawdown, but live trailing drawdown might hurt you. Gotcha. Okay, no, that's cool. It's good to know. Well, I mean, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to max out my Top Step accounts, and then once I do that, I can possibly look for alternatives. All right, so there's another possible entry right here, guys. Price is pulling down. It's currently at this price point. If price pulls down heavier, then the entry is actually going to happen down here at the 90. So let me see if I can do this again. Gotcha, Patricia. I'll take a look at that static accounts. Okay. All right, so we got the retracement right here. We're just basically waiting for price to pull down further to, I mean, we'll see where it closes. If it closes again right there at the 600 mark, it may be possible opportunity for entry. No, I wouldn't take it. It's too close. All right, we'll see if price pulls down to this area down here. The only thing you want to look out for is possible opposite signal. If you get an opposite sell signal, then we'd have to close out for a partial, like a small loss. Okay, so we got a sell signal right there. I'm probably gonna hold off on this one. I mean, technically the entry should have happened right there. I'm gonna hold off on it because there's a sell signal right here. If this here closes, I'm just gonna have to close out for a loss, which is not what I want to do. So if you guys entered right there, I mean, it's probably gonna spike up to your TP, but it's not a risk I was willing to take, especially with the spread kind of bouncing around right now. It's not necessarily very stable. Like earlier, the spread kind of pushed me out a little far off. The entry point kind of sucked, but it's all good. But yeah, the entry should have been taken right there if you took it. The reason why I was kind of hesitant on it was because of that sell signal. Yeah, there goes the sell signal again. So technically the trade is running right now. If you guys are in this position, the trade is running, but the sell signal would have, if this closes with the sell signal, you have to close out for a small loss. It's going to be a few points, maybe like 3 points. Not going to be a big loss, but I didn't even want to bother having that there. All right, there's 30 seconds left on this candle. I'm following the entry, but I'm not in this position, guys. As I mentioned, I saw the sell signal pending. So when I saw that, it just immediately told me to hold off on the position in my mind. So we got 20 seconds left. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if price swings all the way back up and just go straight to TP. But again, right here, there's a reason why I held off on it. So if the sell signal closes, guys, you got to close out for a partial loss. You know, I don't have any ego in this, just pulled out. No sell signal, so it's still technically running. I'm not in this position though, guys, so just heads up. I never clicked the entry button right here. Yeah, Patricia said she'd like to see a push up, retrace and take it. Yeah, I can see that too. That sell signal is throwing me off though. That's like the thing that's throwing me off. I don't want to enter in the sell signal closes because I need to stay strict to my rules. I know it's tempting because I've seen it before where the sell signal comes up and this thing just blasts right through a TP, but I got to stick to my trading rules. I can't be taking any shortcuts. But yeah, no, I mean, it does look good. It looks like it'll blast right through and then go straight to TP. But even if this here closes with an invalid sell signal, I still would close out for a small loss, even though it's a green candle and it's invalid. I'll still close out because I just want to stick true to my trading rules. If I stick true to my trading rules, then this strategy should not have any problem being consistently profitable because that's how we tested it. I know it's tempting though. Like for me, I would have maybe wanted to FOMO into it, but I'm not going to because I already know what happens when I FOMO. That's why I make my only mistakes. Gosh, okay, Anderson, 50K account size max, lot size is 50. Okay, good to know. Yeah, I got to figure out how to use that copier for Apex. I'm not for Apex, for Tradeovate too, because I have it set up on my thing, but I don't know how to actually use it. I'll look on YouTube. I'll find a video and figure it out. But gotcha. Anderson also mentioned with Apex, it's 150 per funded account, one-time fee, and nothing per month. No data fees or anything each month. Cool. Well, that's good to know. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Anderson, Visual, Patricia, DeAndre, everybody who helped with these questions. All right, I'm just going to take this off, guys, because I'm not in this position. I don't want you guys to think that I'm in it. But if the sell signal does close, you guys got to pull out of the position. I never entered it. You can see right here, I have no entry running on my chart right now. I saw the pending momentum in the opposite direction, and that just gave me the huge red flag not to take the trade. See, we got Kevin over here. He's currently at 22,650 for the day. Nice work, Kevin. So solid profits right there. And I don't even know how I'm going to screenshot my profits from my profits from Top Step. Right? I think I need like an app for it. I don't even have an app. The hell? All right, so there's no entry for me until another opportunity comes up, which we don't have that yet. So I'm still looking for the opportunity to come up here. There's no one. That's where Top Step doesn't even have a phone app. I would have figured they have a phone app by now. They've been around for like, what, 10, 12 years now? I say, I guess I just have to screenshot my profits for the day on the actual app. Gotcha. Yeah, so Dre over here, he just screenshots the equity. The problem with my equity here is that it's not going to look accurate because I was taking a bunch of dump trades yesterday when I was trying to figure out what everything did. Let me see if I can just pull up the stuff from today. Like the performance center is cool, but it shows all the trades. I just want to show you guys what I did for today. Oh, okay, I guess I can do this. But it's not like MC4. I like how MC4 it shows like where your trade was taken. Because I got the orders thing over here. Yeah, I'll probably have to so I see that too, right there, Dre. But for mine, it's like because it still shows my stuff from yesterday. Well, I guess I just have to not trade during Asia. That was my stupid mistake. So I think tomorrow will be easier for me to show. But I'll just do this. I'll just do because it shows my total PL is $44, which is not $44. It's because I took a bunch of like dumb trades yesterday, just like tester trades. And I forgot that, well, I didn't realize that I was on my actual combine already. And I just ended up screwing it up. It's all good. I'll figure it out. There's a. Okay, I think this will probably. I don't know. I'll just screenshot this. I'll have to play around with it. Yeah, so that's the trade that I took. I guess I gotta. Sorry, I forgot to even take a screenshot of that trade there. I think it was like right here, right? Yeah, my bad, guys. So I'm still trying to figure out how to do everything. Because there's just so much going on the chart now. I forgot to document this trade because this is the one that we actually took. So that you guys know like which trade was taken. So these scalp trades, basically all the trades I take on my own account are going to be like the official trades. You guys know that already by now, but this is going to be one of the main ones too. So OTP on the 1 minute. Bips. All right, so let's go back to that other trade that was running. I think it's still running and it's in profit now. So I don't know if anybody held on to the trade from earlier, but it's still running. I don't know if you made your late entry, Patricia. This is like the longest momentum pullback scalp I ever seen. You guys can see the volatility here is extremely low. It did hit TP right there. I'm not going to count the trade because I didn't take it. But yes, this is the entry right here that was taken. I know Patricia was talking about entering it late, but yeah, this is probably like this is the longest momentum pullback scalp entry that I've ever seen before. Usually it happens within the first couple of minutes, like even within the first minute or so. But the the market right now, this is not it. This is not the type of market you really want to be in. because the volatility here is kind of trash. And it's, typically you want price to be bouncing between these 10 points very quickly. You want price to come down, fill your order, go straight to TP like this one over here did, right? Price pulled up, pulled back a little bit, filled the order, went straight to TP. Same right here. You want it to fill the order, go straight to TP. You don't want it to take like 5-10 minutes for it to actually go to its TP. And you're only going for 10 points, which is nothing, right? 10 points should be like an immediate push. There should be no waiting in between. If anything, you'll wait for like maybe 1 or 2 minutes, but waiting for like up to 10 minutes here, this is unreasonable for a 100 pip move, right? I mean, the spread's tight, but the movement here is complete trash. So I wouldn't necessarily be risking for a 100 pip move. I wouldn't be risking holding on to a position like that. So I'm glad I didn't take it, but if you guys took it, it did hit your TP. So just don't get scared, right? If you guys are taking these entries, don't get scared and don't pull out too early. If it allows you to pull out early, like for example, if there was a sell signal, then you have to eat your losses and then move on to the next one. But if you're going to take these entries, you can't be scared. You got to take the entry and then hold on to it like you planned on it. Because if you cut your losses here down here, you would have had a loss. It wouldn't be a big loss, but you'd still be cutting your losses when you could have had a win here. So guys, you guys just have to work on your trade psychology if that's a problem. These strategies have been tested, so I trust them. It's just these types of market conditions I don't trust. All right, we got Andreas over here. He took the trade too, total profit 420, and he lost a little one right here. Looks like it was an accidental loss. Oh, look, he had his TP hit, but it looks like because of the spread, he might have set it to break even. So Andreas over here is currently up 375. Nice work, Andreas. Solid profits right there. And we'll continue looking for more entries here. There's nothing for us to take right now, but we'll we'll just keep playing through with it and see where this ends up taking us. I'm just going to give you guys an update there so that you guys know which entries we took. I'm still looking for entries, guys, so don't worry. I'm still looking for entries here. There's just nothing for us to take right now. It's kind of, just a back and forth movement right now. All right, I'm gonna move this up a little higher. We got Martha over here. Total profit of 540 for the day. Nice work, Martha. Yeah, solid work right there. Let's see, Jeff over here identified an SR rejection too. So I wish I could be looking at all these entries, but there's just too much for me to look at, right? So I'm glad that you guys are taking it right here. I don't know if anybody caught the SR rejection scalp right here. Brian did. So nice work, Brian. He saw price push up, rejected directly off the structure right here with a strong green candle, made his entry at that point, straight to full TP. So nice work right there, Brian. Yeah, that was a smooth entry. So as you guys can see, if the market's going sideways, the SR scalping trees work pretty fine. It's just hard for me to look at like 4 different strategies at once. So my main focus here is going to be the momentum pullback. I'll look back at liquidity from time to time, but it's not going to hit anytime soon. And then also the 1 hour entries here, which I do expect to hit from time to time as well, but there's just no opportunity right now. So with that said, back to the main chart here, and I'm going to be looking for any possible opportunities for entry. We need to get a sell signal first. So we're only taking 1 momentum pullback scalp per momentum. We have a buy signal right here. It already hit. So now we're just waiting for retracement and then a second opportunity to get into it. But yeah, right now, just gotta wait. Market sucks, but this was expected. I mean, I'm glad I made profit for today. So I made profit on the momentum pullback scalp, and then I also made profit pre-market off the 1 hour entry as well. I mean, this is typical. It's the day before a holiday. I mean, today's technically going to be observed as a holiday. It's a Canadian holiday. So, I mean, for all my Canadians out there, it's actually markets closed for you guys. So you guys actually took a day off early for today. I don't know what holiday you guys have today, but it is a big holiday for Canada. So that's a big chunk of people who are trading, who are not trading today. Tomorrow we have holiday as well, 4th of July. Today's going to be, it's going to be observed though. So if you guys are getting on this session late, the market is actually closing half day today. So 1 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific, the market will be closed. So I don't recommend people trade after 8 o'clock. There's not really much direction here anyways, and not much volatility. So you're not really missing out on much. I mean, there's not really much going on. You can see over here, this is a clean chart. Make some adjustments here. All right, price is pushing through. Hasn't necessarily closed above it yet though, but you can see it's making its climb to the upside. It's a slow climb. It's not necessarily a really violent push up, but it's just, you know, slow climb. High, low, high, low, high, low. And then now that price has gone up here, it's now consolidating. So again, right here, price is having trouble getting past it. Liquidity is getting closer to liquidity right there. But as it gets closer, again, I would be a little careful with entry. Same thing I mentioned before, you don't want a straight push to the upside. You want a bit of a messy move, which I don't know, we'll see. The volatility is too low. That's why I'm kind of like iffy about taking anything right now. See, Casey said the 732 hit. All right, so Maddie and Casey are identifying second entries that come up. So for the momentum pullback scalp entry, guys, for me personally, I'm taking one per momentum, but you can technically take all of them. Like for example, here, we had a buy signal, price pulled back. You could have made entry right here. That's a full TP. Price pushed back up right here. There's actually a lot of entries here. Let me just see. If you guys want to trade this way, you guys can. I just find it to be a little risky in my opinion, because you know, you'll get lucky till you don't. But sometimes you can go on a pretty long streak. Like you can have a bunch of entries. Like for example, so let me just show you real quick. Okay, so see how the momentum came up right here? We had price pulled down right here below. So when price touched this level right here, 90, this was entry point for it. So this was entry point for it right there. If you guys would have taken the trade right there, full TP, price pulled down even lower here to the 80 level. You could have made entry there, full TP. Price pulled back down even further down here to the 70 level. You could have made TP right there, because the thing is no opposite signal came up yet. Price pushed back up again right here, pulled back, no entry, pushed up again right here, pulled back right there. You could have made entry at some point right there because it was right on the number. Another full TP, price pulled up. This could be another possible entry right here, but there's a sell signal. So, I mean, obviously I would not be messing with it, but again, that'd be another opportunity there as long as the sell signal doesn't close. Because if the sell signal closes, you got to cut your losses. That'll be a small loss, 7 points, 8 points. So not really too much here. Yeah, Patricia said she's not liking the movement. I mean, me neither. I'm with you on that one. The movement here is just super messy. There's not really much movement going on. It's kind of just going sideways. You can't really see it here because there's so much on the chart. But if you go over here to my clean chart, you can see that there's not really much going on. Price is just going sideways within this range. So we'll see. We need to get a buy signal over here. Once we get that buy signal, we can look for a possible entry again. But right now, there's just no opportunity at the moment. Volatility just sucks. I was hoping it'd move a little better, but like, especially right now, because we're like prime time US session. I mean, on a normal day it would move, but it is a holiday. So holiday week. I think it's NFP too, right? Damn, this is a crazy week. We have a holiday week in the beginning, and then at the end it's NFP. Yeah, we have NFP on Friday. So market's gonna be pretty crazy when we come back on Wednesday. We have OPEC on Wednesday too. So we got a lot of stuff going on. Today's a holiday technically. Tomorrow's the actual holiday. Wednesday's OPEC meeting, Fed meeting. Thursday we have inflation news, ISM services, Joel's job openings, FOMC members speaking, etc. And then Friday we have NFP. So we got a pretty crazy week ahead of us. I mean, we'll have a little bit of some rest today and tomorrow, but once we get back in the full swing, the market's going to be moving pretty crazy. We got a lot of news on Wednesday, a lot of news on Thursday, crazy news on Friday. I mean, this whole week is going to be kind of all over the place. And it's the first of the month too. So today's the first trading day of July. there's a lot of things to look out for and be careful for in the market. Just a lot of things to like take note of. You don't necessarily have to be scared of the market because all the stuff is going on, but at least take note of it. Like if you lose a trade this week, it's probably not your strategy, it's probably the market. So just keep that in mind, guys. If you guys lose any trades this week, it's probably the market, because there's so much stuff going on and a lot of people don't realize that. Like people think just because it's the holidays tomorrow that the market should be moving smooth today, but no, today's still being observed as a half day. So just keep that in mind. See what else we got here. No buy signal yet. Liquidity here still hasn't been hit. We're still like 20 minutes away from the hourly candle, so we got a little while to go. Oh man, freaking next killing me. Yeah, there's no entry yet, Maddie, huh? Yeah, still waiting for something to come up. So let's go back to the clean chart. Back to the clean chart over here. Let's just start back at baseline. Let's go back and let's take a look at the overall bias again. Retail sentiment is currently 68% short. This indicates that 68% of retail traders are currently selling right now. So you typically want to do the opposite and buy. With that said, we currently have a bullish bias with regard to retail sentiment. I'm gonna leave it as is. It's 1.1% difference. Fundamentals right now are currently, they're pretty neutral. They're right down the middle, negative 30 points. This isn't going to be useful for us because generally you want this to be above 100 points or below 100 points. If you don't have that, then price is pretty much neutral with regard to fundamentals. So with that said, fundamentals are now back to neutral, not useful for us. Short-term technicals, looking over here at the technicals on the 1 minute, 5 minute, and 10 minute, price is pretty much neutral. It's right between the pivots. It's trying to shift back up and down. Not really useful. So right now, short-term technicals are neutral. And looking over here at the long-term technicals, 30 minute, 1 hour, and 4 hour, you can see price is still in between the pivots as well. Trend meter is slightly colored on some of the time frames, but for the most part, they're right in between the pivots. So I'm going to consider this neutral as well. So right now, we don't really have much of a bias at all. The biggest bias we have is a retail sentiment, but this is a longer term bias. Like right now, it's 68% short. I'm expecting this to be bullish probably by Friday. It might not happen today. It's obviously not going to happen tomorrow. Market's closed, but by Friday, it'll probably push to the upside. So, I mean, if you're in a long-term trade and you're waiting for this to push up, I think eventually it will push up. It might take some time, but eventually it will. It's just, it's just a matter of time until it does. No entry right now. All right, Daniel said done for the day. Hope everyone has a good 4th. Definitely, Daniel. We'll see you back here on Wednesday. So guys, just an FYI, this week we're not going to be having a mentoring session. There's just too much stuff going on. If anything, I may host a mentoring session later this week, but I'm not going to be able to today. I can't tomorrow. I can on Wednesday, possibly Thursday, but I'll let you guys know. So as of now, we don't have a mentoring session scheduled for this week. If I do have some free time this week, I'll let you guys know and we'll have one. But at this moment, I don't have a specific date and time that I can meet with you guys. So it's just a lot of stuff going on this week with the holidays and just like the market in general. All right, Ben Harwick, we'll see you back here on Wednesday. I'm still here, guys. I'm not getting off yet. So I'm still here. I just wanted to tell you guys that I'm not having a mentoring session this week, but I'm still going to hang on for a little bit longer. We'll see if there's anything else that comes up within the next, let's say 8 minutes or so. It's 7:42 right now, so it's getting close to 8. I'm going to hang on with you guys a little longer. If there's no movement here, because you can see, I kind of like how we have the lines drawn up at the 10 points, because you can like really see that price isn't moving, right? Because if you think about it, 10 points isn't very much of a big move. Like price should be blasting right through these levels, right? You guys are familiar with like how price moves during New York session. This thing should be moving like 300 pips, right? It should be moving like this per candle. But you can see that right here, 10 pips or like 10 points is like barely even getting touched. So this kind of gives you guys, an understanding and a real good realization that price is not really moving at all. Because the thing is, your TP here is 100 pips. Like, imagine other people who are trading like 500 pips, right? That's crazy. If someone's trading 500 pips, like they're never going to get out of their position, right? Because this thing is just not really moving very much. So I just started to notice that, yeah, these lines here kind of do help out a bit because it helps you identify where price is pretty much moving. Other than that, there's just not really much to look at. It's 7:44 right now, so we'll hang on for maybe about like 5 or 6 minutes. If you guys have any questions now, feel free to put your questions in the chat. Purity, if you still have a question regarding that trade from earlier this morning, I can help you now. Typically, I wouldn't help during the live session because we're looking for entries, but right now there's just nothing for us to take. I'm still going to look for a possible entry, but it doesn't look like we're going to have anything here because you guys can see there's just not much movement. Here's a clean chart. If the range keeps getting tighter and tighter, then there's just not going to be much for us to do here as price just continues to go sideways. Let's see. Brian said, for drawing the liquidity push, what time frame do you look at to draw? So for the liquidity push, Brian, I typically start from the daily. So I go from the daily time frame. And I mark it up here too. Like you can see which ones I mark up. I go from the daily and then I go to the 8 hour. And then from there, I go down half time frames. So from the 8 hour, I go down to the 4 hour. From the 4 hour, I go down to the 2 hour. 2 hour, I go down to the 1 hour. 1 hour to the 30. 30 to the 15. And then last time frame is a 10. The red ones over here are going to be anything below the 1 hour. So everything with the red is kind of considered weak because a lot of these are not very strong, right? They're like, there's not as many people who are trading on like the 30-minute time frame versus like the 1 hour, 4 hour, daily, 8 hour, etc. So that's pretty much how I mark up the liquidity from the daily, 8 hour, 4 hour, 2 hour, 1 hour, 30-minute, 15-minute, and lastly the 10. And that's pretty much it. And you'll see it marked up here. So not super difficult. If you want to rewatch or if you want to see how I do it, Brian, just go back to like any live session. Basically the first 5 to 10 minutes of every live session, I mark up liquidity. So you can pretty much see what I mark up from there if you just want to see an example. All right, Patricia, we'll see you back here on Wednesday. So Patricia's out for the day. Happy 4th to you as well. Definitely. Yeah, no problem, Jeff or Brian. I don't know what to call you, bro. I call you sometimes Brian, sometimes Jeff. Either one works for you, I guess. Sometimes I see Brian, I'm like Brian, and then I see the parentheses Jeff, I'm like Jeff. It's all good, no biggie. Patrick is asking, Sean, what is your stop loss? Is your stop loss larger for the new strat? It's actually tighter, Patrick, because for that strategy, that's the reason why I'm focusing on this one as the main strategy, because we have a tighter stop loss and then we also can cut our losses early. So like say, for example, we have a buy signal and then say we get a sell signal right after, right? Like not to say that there's an entry here, but just say, for example, we have an entry right here. It's 10.25. Say if we get a sell signal and it just happens to come up like right here, right? If that's the case and we get the sell signal, I got to manually close out of it. And if I close out of it, I get out at like 3 points. So instead of me taking a full 25-point loss, I'm just cutting my losses at like a few points. So if that's the case, then I can just, bounce back on the next trade. The next trade's a win, then I cover it. And there's going to be more losses. So just keep that in mind, guys, for this strategy, there's going to be more losses, but the profitability of it balances out because you're cutting your losses sooner. So you're not taking a full loss. You're basically just cutting a small loss. And then on the next trade, you make your win right back. So that's the biggest benefit of the strategy. It's that you're able to cut losses quicker. The only problem with this too is that you have to be very quick. You can't be thinking too much. If the entry comes up, you got to be in that position, be out of the position as soon as it hits TP, or be out of it as soon as it hits, either early cut for a loss or for a stop loss getting hit. So 25.10 or 10.25, Patrick. It's a little tighter. I'm going to try to work on it to make it even tighter, but I think for now, 10.25 works. And then if anything, we'll just make it tighter if we can. It's just the volatility changes so often that we can't really test it as well as we want to. the testing phase right now is just tough because we're in the summer and you know, the volatility is just not there. Thanks, FX. Yeah, no, definitely appreciate you. I'll see you back here next time you're on. Yeah, Patricia said 20 is nice. I think 20 will work. So like now that we're trading directly on YM, 20 might work because the spread is actually not that bad. You can see right here it's at 1 point. So we might be able to work with 20. But for the moment, I'm going to keep it at 25 and I'm going to be manually watching it for any opportunities to maybe, you know, make adjustments. All right, Martha, happy 4th to you too. We'll see you back here on Wednesday. All right, so let's see. I don't think there's going to be anything coming up, guys. Price is like literally doing nothing. It's just going sideways. The range here, I mean, price will probably just keep ranging and going sideways here for like the next, you know, 10, 20 minutes. But just keep in mind, the market is closing early today. So if you guys do decide to keep on trading after this live session, just keep in mind that you might blow your account. No, I'm just kidding. You won't blow your account, but you'll lose some trades. So just keep in mind, because the volatility is going to be super low. Actually, you might blow your account. So if you're funded, I would recommend not trading at all because I've lost my accounts on FTMO from trading during holidays. It happens like at least once a year for me. I don't know why it happens to me, but it still does. You know, 2 years ago, I lost it in January trading on MLK Day. And then the year after I lost on Juneteenth, because that was the first year Juneteenth was the actual federal holiday. This year I've been pretty good. I'm hoping I stay pretty good, but yeah, the market's gonna be closed at about 11 today. So I think the market will just go sideways for like the next while. And then maybe closer to 11, so like 11 o'clock is when market closes. All right, yeah, so the market closes right here at 11. And what you might see is price might go sideways for a bit. It might just go back and forth for a bit. And then at 11, you might see a spike because people are going to sell off before the holiday. So market closes right here at 7. You might see a spike to the downside as it gets closer to market close because everyone's going to sell off before the holiday because, you know, a lot of stuff can happen tomorrow. It's a holiday, but I mean, who knows? A war might break out. Something crazy might happen. That'll affect the market. So that's something that you guys might see along the way. All right, Maddie. Yeah, no, definitely. I'm gonna go hit the gym too, and I'll see you here at my place, you know, in a couple hours. So, all right, guys, I think that's it for today. If you guys have any questions, you know, feel free to reach out. I'm probably not going to be reachable for today or tomorrow. Actually, I'll be reachable tomorrow in the morning, maybe. But yeah, if you guys send me a message, you know, at least give me until Wednesday to respond to you guys, because I'm not going to be on my computer. So, all right, I think that's it. Let me see if there's anything else here. I think that might be it for now. So, all right, guys, if there's any questions or if you guys have any profits to send in, feel free to send them into the group. Otherwise, I will see you guys back here on Wednesday for market open post holiday. Market's going to be kind of crazy on Wednesday. It's going to be treated like a Monday, but you know, we'll see how it goes once that day comes. So, all right, guys, have a great day. Have a great, safe 4th of July if you guys are celebrating. Otherwise, I'll see you guys back.